right. All right, welcome everybody. It's the middle of August. And I don't know about you guys, but holy Hannah Bear, is there things going on? Like every time I think like this business couldn't get more exciting, it does. Like we have so many things that we can be doing right now that I didn't even like, I kind of felt this morning, like, where do I even focus? Because we have, you know, the catalogs came out to our customers. So all of a sudden my phone is ding, 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 like, bring it. And I'm not putting up any barriers to that, bring it, right? But I'm like, how come I'm getting so many reorders all of a sudden? And it's because the catalogs came out for everyone, you guys. They changed it, right? They're getting them a little bit earlier now. And I wasn't used to that. So reorders are coming in for that. We got fall product just released for the entire sales force. Then we got that awesome pink sale that came up. And then they announced a makeover contest. Like all of these things are coming at us at once. And so sometimes when we have so many incredible opportunities in front of us, it takes us a minute to sort of slow it down and figure out, how am I going to effectively use this for my business? Because you are all independent directors. And lip glosses, yes. And then we got a starter kit bonus on top of that, right? And another PCP deadline at the end of the month for the fall product, for the holiday product. Okay, guys, I'm going to just step up here on my soapbox for a second about PCP, because I believe in PCP, the preferred customer program, and I will sing it from the rooftops for the rest of my life, because I believe in it so much, because it is the cheapest way for you to advertise your business. You can't even buy the dang stamp for that book for what they charge you per person. It gets the new product in the hands of people. It keeps your customers getting contact from you 5 times a year. So even if the world fell apart, or even if really big things happen in your life, they're still getting at least that catalog from you 5 times a year. It gives you a reason to follow up with people. It gives you as a consultant the ability to order the deluxe minis, early ordering options, and especially this one. This is when all the cool Christmas stuff comes out. And so you'll have a 3-day advance to order products before the rest of the entire sales force. This is very important when they bring out really cool things, because you don't, sometimes sometimes we surprise those head office people. They're pretty awesome. The way they project and the things they order, they're pretty good. But sometimes we come out of left field and we order things and more things than they ever expected, and they do go out of stock with limited edition things. So for us to have a 3-day extra window before the bulk of the sales force can order is huge. So if you do not do PCP, guys, do PCP. And right now for Christmas, like even if you've just got like 10 people or just, you know, you're like shaving down your list a little bit because you're thinking, oh, it's a lot, just did one, blah, blah, blah. This is the one that we're doing right now. The deadline on the end of August is the one when people are in shopping mode. So this is the one to beef up. I often hear people say, well, it's only a little brochure. It's not a full catalog, so I don't want to spend that money. Guys, it's a brochure of like really cool things, and it's Christmas buying season. So I don't care how big it is. When you're getting your brochure in with all the flyers from all the stores and all the places, you're putting yourself in the game. So I will step off the soapbox now and just trust that you will follow my advice. I tell you, this is something a couple of years ago, I got on this with my girls. We were going back to the basics, and I have a lot of girls in my unit who have really involved other jobs. And they're like, what can I do to just be, you know, building business, but not like on it? And like the first thing I say to all of them is just PCP. Like at least people know you're still doing it. If they're getting a catalog from you, they're not phoning you saying, are you still doing that Mary Kay thing? Because they know you are, or you wouldn't be sending them a book. Right? So okay, that. So lots of things going on in August is my point. And so we can go with that however you like. But tonight I want to more specifically focus on using the makeover contest to build your business. And you're like, Angie, really? makeover contest doesn't start until September. Why are we talking about that now instead of the other things? And I'm like, well, first of all, my sisters here have already covered some of the things. And secondly, because we need to start now. This makeover, I love makeover contests. Guys, I built my whole business on before and after portfolios. I actually came across, I should have brought them up here for you. I've got portfolios from, actually I got my original before and after pictures that I had taken of me when I was a customer. That's how I came into the business, is my consultant wanted me to be in her portfolio. So my sister and I went, because I was scared someone would get me if I didn't take someone with me. So my sister and I went to this, and she sent me, because it was my director, she's now in my unit. She actually sent me my pictures from, it was 1995 when she first facialed me. And I want to say I look exactly the same, but my hair's lighter. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. So I built my entire business on building a portfolio of before and after photos. And so I believe in this. And when the company gives us the prize, that's even better, right? So let's talk about this contest. I'm going to pretend that some of you haven't done a contest before, just in case. I don't want to assume. And then people are like, I don't know what she's talking about. That chick from Saskatchewan is like weird. But so the makeover contest is the Uniquely Hue, and it's starting September 1st and it goes till September 30th. So that's when you do your submissions. But you don't have to timestamp your photos now. So you can start, once you got your palettes, you can start doing the before and after photos with people right now. And so basically that palette's amazing, right? Like, who doesn't love this palette? I have an empty box of it here, but I love it because what I'm doing a live event on Monday, our first like Monday night meeting in live. I'm so excited, just can't hide it. We are going to use that palette for not only their eyes, but also their cheeks for a little bit of highlight and a contour, all out of that palette. And then the lipsticks. And thank you, Vanessa, for the one graphic you sent, because that's going to be our promo for the night. And it's just awesome. So what you have to do is you basically get together with people one way or another, and they have to use something from that palette. Now, they don't necessarily have to use every single color. Yes, they can use other shades and all that sort of thing, but you got to use at least something from that palette. Now, that being said, guys, if I was a gambling woman, which I'm not, never, I don't like that. I mean, no harm to anybody who does, but I'm way too cheap to be a gambler. I'm very cautious in my life. But I think the more, like, if you exclusively use that palette, I think it will look better for you. So I'm just saying. Okay, so you get together with people, you teach them how to apply it to themselves. And then when the contest opens, they have to, so these are the things that they have to do in order to be entered. They have to follow Mary Kay at Mary Kay Canada on Instagram. They have to be a follower of Mary Kay Canada. Okay. They also have to post a photo of themselves on Instagram, on their Instagram account that's public. It's public. Using the Mary Kay Hues eyeshadow palette and tag Mary Kay Canada on it. And then tell us in the caption what makes them uniquely you. And then tag you, their beauty BFF. Okay, so guys, how does this build your business? Your customers all over the place are tagging you on Instagram looking hot and sexy, right? So that when they look good, you look good. And so when they're talking about being in this contest, their friends see it and they're like, girl, how'd you get on there? I want a piece of that. And so that can help build your business, just that alone. They have to have that hashtag uniquely hue 2022. Of course, their account must be public. They can enter one photo of themselves. Kim, are you asking me a question with your hands up in the air?
I am. Sorry, I'm not on video. I'm a hot mess today, so nobody needs to see that. I have a question about the Instagram thing. Like, I'm just thinking if you have customers that don't use social media, can you use your own account? Do you know?
It has to be their account.
Oh,
So I have had that in the last one. I had that. And so the people are like, well, I don't want to get an Instagram just for that and all this sort of stuff. And so they're like, I won't bother you then. I'm like, bother me? Did I not tell you I'm doing my own before and after portfolio? Like, I want you in that, and I've got a prize happening for that. Right. So when I'm creating getting them to do the things for the makeover contest, I'm also getting pictures myself because I too do want to do another before and after makeup portfolio. And so that gives people who aren't comfortable or techie or all of that an opportunity to also be in it. And I'm going to set up my own little prize package for my customers. So they're getting the chance from the company, but they're also getting a better chance with me, right? And so I'm going to, offer them, different things for referrals and all sorts of things. So yes, Kim, it has to be their own Instagram because they're only accepting one submission from each Instagram account. Okay. Also, one thing I did notice when I was looking over the FAQs is that beauty consultants and their immediate families and children and their respective spouses, regardless of where they reside, can't enter the contest. So your own kids can't be in it. Just so you know. My daughter Teo will be disappointed because, guys, she's come a long way. I gotta tell you this. I won't say too loud because she's here. But remember quite a while ago when I had told you how she made me so mad because she had ordered a charcoal mask from Amazon or something, like one of those peel off your face ones. And she was telling me how like, oh mom, but your Mary Kay one. I was like, oh, and she was being like that with me. This is a couple of years back, like when our charcoal mask first came out. She made me cry the other day because she's like, Mom, I just have to tell you, like, I'm sorry for like giving you a hard time about Mary Kay. It's really good. Like the foundation is unlike anything else, and like it stays on a lot longer. And I'm like, oh, thanks for saying that, Tay. And I wanted to say, see, told you, but I didn't, because you don't do that with your 20-year-old daughter. But I was just like, okay, we just got to give them time and space to get their feet on the ground, and then they will realize that we are the way. Anyways, that is a total side note. So anyways, yeah. So get your faces done now, earlier, and so that you can have them submit them and remind them. And ladies, the more you do now, and the more you do early in September, the better. Because my experience has been that people wait until the end to submit their photos. And then all of the things get mixed up and the glitches happen. And then they get frustrated with the system and all the things that come with that. So the earlier they submit before the traffic is heavy and before all of the glitches are happening, the better. Okay, so get on that now. Now, let's talk about who can be in this contest. Well, not your immediate family, we just learned. But basically everyone else, your current customers, and it can be a way for you to get connected, especially if you haven't really ventured out into the face-to-face world yet. New customers, because you can say there's a makeover contest happening, and I'm just wondering if you would like the chance to win $2,500. And people are like, what? It says, yeah, it's an Instagram thing. And they're like, yeah, bring it. So it can be a booking tool for you with new customers. Now, I know that one of the questions is going to be, well, how do you book new customers with a makeover contest? Some of you are like, oh, I know how to do that. But for those of you who aren't feeling completely confident about that, my little lingo would go something like this. Hey, Selena, or is this Selena? And she says, yes, it is. And so this is Angie with Mary Kay. I got your name from wherever it might be, whether it be a referral, whether it be a Drawbox, a facial jar, whatever it might be. And I'm just calling you today because I have an opportunity for you. And she's like, oh, what's that? And I say, well, Mary Kay's put on a makeover contest with one of our brand new fall hues palettes. And I'm looking for women who would like to give it a whirl and be in a contest that could get them $2,500 and countless other prizes. So some will be like, yeah, no, right? Half the population, no, I do not want anyone to see me. I want to hide, right? And then others will be like, yeah. So your yeah girls, you'll book them on the spot. For those that are like, no, say, oh, I totally understand. But I would like to offer you the opportunity for a pampering session, one-on-one with me. How's your skin doing these days? Right? So you can book either way. Because the contest is going on doesn't mean that every appointment you do has to be about the contest. Sometimes it's just a little bit of layering, right? They need to know that you're not some weirdo or some hacker or scammer or anything like that, right? Like there's countless things of that going on right now. So there's a bit of trust issues out there with those sorts of things. But booking them would be great. Now, I'm going to really, I've got a couple of customers who are all about the social media and all about the, all that sort of thing. So I'm going to ask for as many referrals as I can from my current customers who I enroll in the contest. So when you do your appointment with the customer that you're going to submit, you ask them, hey girl, do you have any girlfriends who would like to be in on this too? I just want to show how great this palette looks on every skin tone, every eye color, all the things. So do you have friends that, have different skin tones, the same, where are you at? And if you can get referrals, it's a trusted source, right? They know their friend's not going to lead them to some Mary Kay stalker lady, right? Because she's been working with them, right? So referrals are really easy to work through. Like I said, if you do get a no about the contest, whether it be phoning one of your current customers or a new, book them for a one-on-one with you. I'm loving the one-on-ones, loving them, just because I've missed being with people. And then for those of the customers of yours who you've had for a long time, like Rose probably has some customers who's been with her for a really long time. We can also mention, just drop that little like, by the way, Downtown Brown is back. Boom. And they're like, what? Because yeah, Downtown Brown has been quite the, it's caused quite the ruffle and the fluffle around my office, because I got a lot of customers who loved that. So just work with people also book people you don't, and referrals. Those are kind of my main things that I'm going with. Like I said, when, start now, book faces and use the colors. How are you going to do this? Well, you're going to reach out. I printed off the, oh, sorry, it's right in front of my face. This is on In Touch. It talks about the makeover contest. I'm printing off a whole bunch of them. They're in bag stuffers for all the orders that are going out now. I'm going to have it sitting, like when we do our appointments, sitting out, and I'm going to put one, everybody who has a makeover with me is getting one, because on here, guys, is the instructions and the prizes. So if your customers are like me, they're not going to remember all the things, but when they see it in writing, in white and pink, they're going to know how to submit their entries. It's going to provide you a little bit of peace, because they won't have to ask all the questions because you're giving them. So you just print this right off of In Touch. Okay. You'll also notice on In Touch in the hub that they give you some social media tools and posts and things like that. Okay. So use those, generate those. Talk about it with your customers, post on your customer groups. I want to get my customers to, when we do the before and I'm going to do before and afters, but when we do those makeovers, I'm going to ask them to post them to whoever they like or share it with them, and let them know and mention me as their consultant, not just on Instagram, anywhere else, if they're a Facebook person or whatever. Just the more that they advertise what's happening, the better it is for you. And I can't believe how beautiful this palette is. Like, I honestly, when I got it, I was like, oh, that's beautiful for everybody else, but with my skin tone and my hair color, that's not going to look good. So I'll definitely work with this, because I'm sure it'll be good on some. And then I tried it and I was like, what? This looks good on me. Look at me go. Right. And it just reassured me that I think everybody that I have seen post anything about it, it looks fantastic. Right. And with 6 options, 6 colors, you can make combinations that are going to work for everybody. I really love it too, that we can pop those colors out of the palette and put them in our regular compacts. That's really cool. And when you think about it, our regular colors are much smaller. They're $9 each. 9 times 6 is 54. We're getting 6 here, bigger size, like I'd say 1.5 times the size for 45. So it's a great value as well. And it's got a mirror. So if you want to keep it in there, it's handy to take along. And like I mentioned too, I'm going to be using that certain colors for cheeks, highlighter, contour. The whole thing is what I'm doing on Monday. Book group sessions. Okay, now isn't going to be a good time to book group sessions and parties. So it's going to be like makeover night, and you can have like random people. It doesn't have to be just a hostess and her guests. It's gonna be like, I'm doing a makeover night at my place, or a hotel, or wherever you might be doing it. I'm gonna have different people coming. I kind of like doing that. I've always had good luck with that because I find that people are really nice to people they don't know, right? Like, and isn't it nice getting a compliment from someone you don't really know? Like, your girlfriend's going to tell you you're beautiful. Like, she's got to. Like, too many secrets about her. She's got to tell you you're beautiful. But when you have people that you've never met before and you end up being in the same place and it's compliment time at the end of your appointment, and they say, oh, wow, Elva, your eyes just pop. They have no reason to say that, right? So when you can gather people that aren't necessarily connected before, I find it really, really powerful. All right. One of my things was what if, and thank you, Kim, you brought this up. You read my notes. If they don't have Instagram, how can you still do that? But I'm building my own portfolio with it. Mine is very dated. I need to get back to that so that I have a fresh one to do because women like this. And like I mentioned before, get your faces done early and submit them early to prevent the problems. Now, that's great. That gets you into the contest. That's wonderful. But how does this makeover contest build your entire business? A, it's giving you new leads because you're asking for referrals. You're getting in front of people that you have seen recently and that you haven't. You're booking new faces. So it's building that customer base of yours, building new clients, all that. That's great. B, it's a whole new set of people to Career Coffee. And so you can be building your team, especially with the lip gloss promo. Another, you get those 3 lip glosses with the starter kit this month. So another reason to get started early on this, because then you can, sell the sizzle of a bonus that comes along with the starter kit. So if they're kind of on the fence about it, this might push them over on that. C, it's connection. It's connection and it's building a buzz. When they set up a promo for us where it is a social media type of thing, and they're tagging us, that is building your business in the social media world as well. So again, it's giving you credibility, it's giving you exposure, it's making you look like a successful businesswoman. It's giving your customers like, oh my gosh, look at Anna's like got all these people who are getting these really beautiful makeovers. I should call her too, right? If they're following you, they're going to see all of that. It's going to help build you. And the most important thing about it all is when you're seeing faces and you're making women happy and you're building business the way that it was technically told, like with the book sell, book share, you feel inspired and motivated. There is nothing when you're in a slump. The Mary Kay always said, if you're in a good mood, book a party. If you're in a bad mood, book a party. If you're in a slump, book a party. Everything, the answer to everything was book a party, right? Same thing. When you start seeing faces and you have good feedback and you have all this stuff happening, it's going to excite you in your own business. It's going to raise your energy level to a point where you become this magnet of people wanting a little bit of you because like you just are excited and your business seems to be thriving and they want to be in that. So this is so much more than just a contest. This is a way to really turn things around for you. Now, some of you might be thinking, okay, that's fine and dandy for those young girls who know all about that Instagram-y thing and the Facebook-y things and all those things, but I'm not that kind of girl. I get you. I actually hardly ever post on Instagram. And then when this contest came up, it had me like, well, old girl, It's time for you to start getting into the 2022s here and get your butt going on this. It's not much different in your little comfort zone of Facebook. You can do it, right? And even if you don't use it for that, that doesn't mean because you're not big on Instagram doesn't mean that your customers aren't, right? That they can still enter. As long as you have a public account, they can still tag you. They can still like Mary Kay. They can still do, because it's not you that's having to do all the work of getting all the entries in. So don't worry about that. I know I'm going to get better. I promised Kim. I posted yesterday and today. I'm a big girl now. Yeah, like don't worry about it being that, oh, I don't know Instagram, so I don't think I can do this contest. It's actually not up to you. It's up to the consultant, or sorry, customer. Another piece of advice I want to give you about this too is make sure that you're doing the follow-up to make sure that they're entering their photos come September 1st. Like make yourself a spreadsheet or just a little checkbox or something somewhere and do reminders, because life is busy, right? Today for me was like one of those things that like, oh yeah, I was just on machine last night. I had my list, my 6 most important lists for personal and business, and I was going to do this, and all of a sudden things happen. Life happens. And I didn't expect to have a 3-hour window this afternoon where I would be tied up with something that needed my attention first, right? And so your customers have that happen too. We're humans. That's life. So they want the reminder. That's one thing I've really noticed, guys. I find it easier now to follow up than ever. Can we go on another soapbox here? Anyone mind? Okay, well, I don't care if you do. I'm going on anyway. The follow-up thing right now I find is easy, because what happens if my doctor doesn't send me a reminder that it's my kids' complete physicals that I booked 6 weeks ago? We no-showed. Whoops. I didn't mean to. I'm really sorry, right? So people are expecting reminders. So when you text them and you say, hey girl, just wanted, I haven't looked, I don't know for sure, but just a reminder in case you haven't entered the makeover contest, post your pictures on Instagram, you know, the sooner you can do it, the better. And then I would have like a preset, like this is the instructions, kind of like this. It's just showing, do this, do this, do this, do this, and send it to them. Every time I have been sending people reminders lately, instead of them like saying, take me off your list, right? It's like, thank you for the reminder. We have a contest going in our national area where we have a draw every month. And I send my consultants who are in the draw, you know, the day before, a reminder. And then I say, let me know if you want me to send you a reminder 30 minutes before. And almost every single one of them was like, yep, send me the reminder 30 minutes before. Because especially in the summer, right? All of a sudden company pops in, or the sun shines the right way and you're out basking in the glory. Like you need those reminders. So I never feel like I'm bothering my customers when I remind them. And once you can get that out of your head, it's not an issue, but sometimes we make it an issue, right? We create this own story in our own head. Like we create our own stories of, I don't want to bother them. Guys, seriously, it's a text. It's not like you're knocking on their door and asking to spend the weekend, right? Like they don't want to read it, they don't. So don't be afraid of following up. Follow up with all the things. Follow up and let them ask if they got their catalog. Ask if they got the catalog. Do the follow-up with the PCP, guys. That's where the money rolls. I love PCP months because the reorders that we get, and it's so funny because I would say 70% of the reorders that come in for me from that have nothing to do with the new catalog. It's like, need my moisturizer, need a new foundation. Oh, can we get together? I think I need a darker foundation, or, oh, I got to go back to school in the fall. I need that, right? Like it's just a reminder. So don't be afraid to follow up because it pays you big time. So that's a lot of talking that I just did. And I just want to make sure that I have covered anything that you were thinking of before, that you were thinking like, oh, I was hoping she would cover this. So if there's something that you'd like to ask me questions about, please just pop on and let me know.
Yeah, Angie, one of the girls at our meeting last night, she asked, because the color palette is in the makeover one, what is that one called? Mirror Me app. Can they use that if they're like virtual and like far away? Can they use the colors on the Mirror Me and then submit that and hashtag, you know, it on Instagram?
Well, let me look on the FAQs.
Because they put it right on there. So I thought
It
maybe, yeah, you
says,
can, maybe.
are there any particular rules my customers need to follow when taking photos of their makeover? Yes, in general, makeover photos submitted for the contest should be of the actual customer entering the contest, be from a makeover or color appointment conducted with or in consultation with a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant and submitted during the contest period. Guys, you know what I'm going to do? This might sound so basic and you're like, seriously, you're not going to do that. I am. I have some customers I know that are going to want to do this and they don't live near me. So me actually doing it with them is next to impossible because I've got like all the way from BC to New Brunswick. So I'm going to try to sell them the palette. You send it to them, and if they have friends over and we do a Zoom appointment, they have 4 friends, then they don't have to pay me for the palette. And or second, if they're like really not wanting that, I'm going to take sponge tip applicators and put colors on them and mail them. Like, talk about basic, but why not, right? If it gets someone trying it that maybe wouldn't, I think it can turn in. But I don't think you can do the Mirror Me app because everywhere that I'm looking here, it's talking about it being right on their face. Yeah, and yeah, everything it's talking about. Yeah, you can use other colors, but it's got to be something from the Mirror Me app. They don't have to buy anything. So it is going to be a vote in the end. So the company is going to, Mary Kay internal judges will score the photos and come up with a top 10. Okay, this might answer your question, Elva. So how are the entries being judged? A panel of Mary Kay internal judges will score eligible entries using 3 equally weighted criteria to determine the top 10. 1 is originality and creativity of submission. 2 is adherence to the contest theme. What makes her look uniquely Hugh? And quality of makeover look and caption content. Okay, so I don't think you can do just the Mirror Me app. And the prizes are 1 grand prize, customer winner, and their independent beauty consultant. That's the part I really like. Yep. Will receive $2,500 cash. Runners up like first and second runner up, and their independent beauty consultant win $1,000. And the top 10 customer winners will each receive a basket of Mary Kay products, approximate retail value of $250, and their independent beauty consultant will receive a $250 product credit. Yay! So when they win, we win. All right. So it's going to be something that the more you amp it up now, especially when it comes to the voting part, if your customer gets in there, you want to make sure that you've got people voting for her to win, because when she wins, you win. The more you can do now, the more you talk about it now, even if people aren't in the contest. And so say you're talking about this contest and they decline and say, no, they don't want to. And then you find out that one of your customers end up being in one of the finalists. And you're like, guys, go vote for my girl, right? That again is creating excitement, and it's creating like credibility for you. And it's creating like this possibility. And they're like, man, this Mary Kay company's pretty cool, right? It's going to make your recruiting easier because they're seeing how the company's helping you build business. We get so many opportunities with Mary Kay. They give us so many tools. They give us so many opportunities. We don't have to go and recreate our own things, guys. Use what the company gives you. Use the tools, use the PCP program, use, the apps they give us, use all the things that they give us. You don't have to go and recreate your own thing. Us techie girls are us non-techie girls are really relieved by that. So that's what I got for you. So I hope you're loving the pink sale. I hope you're loving the fact that Mary Kay is giving us this contest. I hope that you are having a beautiful and awesome summer, and that you are making sure that you take time to really fill your cup with all this weather before it turns. And I just really hope that you know that we believe in you, and that we think that you should use this amazingly beautiful compact to build your business. Who knows where this could take you? Get excited. Go for it. You're not going to regret it. It's going to make you richer in more ways than one. And yeah, just thank you for giving me the opportunity and for all the great feedback you always give me. I just really feel like I'm like starstruck to be surrounded by these other directors that are pretty fantastic. I love that they let me in their circle, and just really, really happy to see all of your faces today. All right, take care, my girls. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.